everybody, thanks for tuning in. It's been a while since I've done some bite-sized reviews. This is where I pack some little reviews into 10 minutes time, and everything in this video is drugstore. And interestingly enough, none of it is super new, but it's just all stuff that I feel like it's very relevant and things you should know about. So first thing is a little brush set here from Profusion. Drugstore brands are really slaying it when it comes to brushes. I love e.l.f., I love Real Techniques, and I also love the Profusion brushes. I learned that first from the eye brushes. Those are available in Walmart. You can also check Profusion's website. I mean, we're talking really nicely made brushes. And this 5-pack, I found it on their website. $25 down from, I believe, $28. These brushes are awesome. These face brushes. I wish they'd just pump these out into Walmart too. They really should. I'm going to describe each one and there'll be a little demo to go along with it, but they've got this buffing foundation FD1. We're talking the same shape and size as a Real Techniques Expert face brush, and I used this today to put on my Wet n Wild tinted hydrator, and it can work with a full coverage foundation all the way to like the thing I used today. It can help maximize coverage out of something that is more sheer like that. Nice dense bristles, soft, absolutely love it. Also not seeing any shedding out of these brushes. They are just a super quality, and even the handle, look how it's somewhat contoured, like it goes in, it can be skinnier at one part or thicker at another part. The grip you can get on these is just tremendous. So anyway, I use this for a foundation step, but I can also use it for concealer. I put on my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer and just dabbed over it with this brush. Really the one thing I think kind of missing from this set would be a smaller concealer brush. I'm not talking that itty bitty flat concealer brush that some brands put out, but like something that you could buff with a little bit that would be smaller than this. But as you're seeing in this video, I can make this work and easily dab in my concealer. I'm not saying 100% of your life has to happen in this 5-piece brush set. You know, you can pull in something else, but I'm just trying to help you see what they can do. Then we've got an angled powder brush, PD3, and for me, I think this is a nice one to use for like setting the under eye, setting the T-zone. Really, when I use powder, I don't like going at it with a huge, massive brush. I like really kind of pinpointing and pressing in where I want the powder. So I used Rimmel Stay Matte today, and I just dabbed it in those areas. And this brush gives me a lot of control, but it could also be a brush for contour or for blush. Next, for bronzer, that's where I am willing to go in with something a little bit larger. And I do love the cut of this round powder PD1. So it's a very full brush, but it's like egg-shaped. So you still don't feel like it's overwhelming the face, and you can somewhat pinpoint where it's going. So I use this Ulta, Baked Trio in Santorini Sun, and I just use that bronzer. Hairline, a little subtle contour under the cheekbone. If you want something more precise, there's another brush coming that could give you a little bit more precise contour, or there's this angled one, but I do really think that that full one is nice for bronzer. Now, a little bit smaller than that, this is the baby to that one, is the round tapered powder brush PD8. This, for me, feels perfect for blush, so I use that with the blush in that compact. It's, again, that nice little, very tapered egg shape. I really love it. And lastly, you're getting a flat setting powder PD5 brush. Now, this maybe could work for buffing out a cream concealer. It could also work for setting the under eye, but if I'm trying to kind of give everything in this set its own function, for me, it's like a highlighter brush, so I can just dab over those areas. So it's a nice little chunk of brushes for 25 bucks, and I would highly recommend them if you need some drugstore face brushes. Next up, guys, this recommendation came to me from my friend Erica. She's here on YouTube. She's wonderful, Erica Jones. She gave some product recommendations recently, and I definitely jumped on this one. This is a Revlon Colorstay Cream Shadow. Yes, these have been around for a while. The shade is Caramel, and she mentioned just using it as a quick, like, one shadow look, and I do think it's so pretty. First, I put on Milani eyeshadow primer just because I always do that. Then I use the little brush that comes with this, which is very handy, and then just swipe it on, and I kind of went like up through the crease a little bit. What's nice about it is that even if it touches your crease or gets into your crease, it doesn't do unsightly like collecting there because it sets and it doesn't feel tacky throughout the day. I'm not saying it's dry in a bad way, but I just appreciate that it dries down and then it stays for good all day. I kind of want to try some more shades in this, but this is definitely a gorgeous one. I just love that sort of subtle, not trying too hard, easy glowing lid. Just cannot argue with with the staying power at all. Plus you got an applicator in there. It's a really good stuff. I get asked a bunch about drugstore alternatives to IT Cosmetics Superhero, and I believe I've found the closest thing. It's falling short in one small area, but that might not affect everyone. And it's the Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume Mascara. Okay, this one, the big reason why I'm comparing it to IT Cosmetics, it's got this little curved brush. I like to hold it like a smile. It really builds up the product quickly on the lashes. That's a trademark element of IT Cosmetics Superhero, and I see it here as well. That means you don't have to take as many swipes and passes through the lashes to get them built up with some nice volume. This one builds up faster than any of the other ones in this line. And yes, I am going to be talking about the newest one in a future video, but just as far as comparing to IT Cosmetics Superhero, my current favorite mascara, has been for some time. It's nice that it builds up quickly because if you have sparse lashes, going through them tons of times can just make them stick together more. But if the mascara builds fast, you can get a nice look without eventually starting to make them all stick together. Do you know what I mean? So this is a couple of coats per eye, and I feel like I've got nice volume and thickness. The one thing about this, it does not dry on the lashes as fast as Superhero, and I do think that that impacts the curl in a bit of a negative way. Some people have no struggle with the curl of their lashes, and if you don't, I mean, get this. For you, I'd call this about an IT Cosmetics Superhero dupe. For me, I do really love that element of Superhero, how it kind of gets on the lashes and freezes, and that helps the curl stay. So I just wanted to let you know, really good product, really enjoying it. It's seriously like 90% there for duping Superhero for me. It's just that I want it to dry a little faster because I think it would hold curl better if it did. But none of the other mascaras, the new one included, I've just dipped my toe into that one, but none of those pile on the product the way this one does and really give that thickness and that more dramatic looking volume, you know? A couple of things to talk about in terms of lip products. I was realizing that I actually didn't have a whole lot of lip liners that were in nice rich colors. I was just looking for some deeper tones that might be sort of chameleon type colors that could work for a lot of different lip shades because I felt like I was doing great in terms of nudes. I love the Milani Understatement line for nude lip liners. So good. But I tried a couple here from Revlon Colorstay. I ordered them both from Ulta, and it's kind of funny how they both have different packaging styles. One is called Mauve, one is called Raisin. I'll try on the Mauve one for you first, and this is just a really nice kind of like deep rosy color, and I see it working so well for different dusty rose lip colors or just anything that's kind of on the border. Maybe you got a little bit of a berry shade, but you want to neutralize it just a little bit. I love these, and I love their staying power. The staying power is so extreme with these. Very underrated. You also have an extra little tip here to make the point even more precise. And then to go deeper than that, I got Raisin, and that one can be a nice partner to a reddish colored lip or anything that's maybe a burgundy, deep berry, a nice partner to those shades, and it just, again, it wears like iron. If you have a little bit of balm on your lips first, these will glide on incredibly easily, but even without, I mean, you can get them on and they just lock in. So I would highly recommend those lip liners, and the whole line, I mean, probably has some great shades in various colors, but this was what I was needing right now, and it really delivered. Lastly, I want to talk about Maybelline SuperStay 24-Hour Lip Color. These are tremendous. I mean, I love the CoverGirl Outlast. My mom loves CoverGirl Outlast, but I think I'm realizing a key difference here. Okay, this is the two-step product where you put on basically a liquid lipstick, it dries down, and then you top it with a lip balm. I wore this during Miss Illinois, and I've been continually experimenting with it since. I believe the difference is that when this balm wears down, for example, when I was doing that competition, I had it freshly applied going in, but then, you know, with time, you're talking a bunch, you have a little break, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're kind of expecting maybe there's been a little unsightly wear down. Do I need to touch up? I knew the balm had worn down, but the lip color continued looking flawless and even, and no little like peeling off and causing trouble for me throughout the rest of the night. So I thought that was a really special element, and I feel like with Outlast, your overall color is quicker to wear down when it loses its moisture layer. So if you run into a situation where it's like, okay, life's good, I got this little balm on, I'm at the start of my day, I'm setting that up, okay, I'll put this in my purse, I'll remember to touch up, and then you totally forget to touch up for the rest of the day, this lip color isn't gonna like screw you late in the day if you forgot to top it with balm, and it doesn't doesn't get uncomfortable even without it. Like, I think its best look is with the balm, and this is a great way to wear a red lip without worrying about like anything transferring off in red. How else are you going to execute a shiny red lip that you do not have to worry about? This is great, but I'm just saying, if you forget to apply the balm, or you just don't have a situation where you have time or are able, it's still going to wear well for you. And I would say my overall advice with liquid lipsticks, apply as little of this as you can. Think about putting it on like the bottom lip, blot it to the top lip, and then just even it out without going back for more. There's your most even wear possibility. And you just can't pull off this two-step thing with any liquid lipstick. There are a lot of liquid lipsticks where if you put a balm or a gloss on top, you would simply re-liquefy them. You would stop having the benefit. But these are, I guess, specially formulated to where it can have that balm on top and it will still last. I give so much praise to like the Maybelline SuperStay matte inks, but these really are super comfortable because you do get to have that balm and they still last amazingly well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I have a whole playlist of bite-sized reviews if this is something that really appeals to you, so I will link to that below, and I will see you again very soon. Love you. Bye.